Listen to the sound of that engine. We're back in the garage with Bodie Stroud.
Welcome back to In the Garage. Yeah. What were we talking about, Mitchell?
We were talking about all your fabrication and final steps before you take your car to paint. And that's where we were at.
Oh, yeah. We were mocking up engine as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Make sure you mock that engine up and put the body on. Put the fenders on. Put your doors on. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of repetitive work, but you got to do it because you will be sorry. And this is about the time they want to go to steelrubberproducts.com and get your door rubbers. And if you can like tape them on there or something and you can fit it up and you can shut the door, trust me, good idea.
Definitely.
You know? Because we've been there where we've rushed through a car because the customer wants it so fast or it had to be there that we skipped that point, and boy, does it suck.
Yes. Even though, everything fit together when you took it apart and it came off the factory line like that, it never fits back the same way.
Never goes back.
So
I consider myself a master of the trade of lining things up. I'm pretty good at it. Wouldn't you say so, Mitchell?
Yeah, I like handing that part of the build over to you.
I don't know why, but I can just see it, and it just takes hours and hours of massaging and getting it to fit right, and knowing which way it's going to move and which way the door is going to move or the hood. Hoods are a real pain, especially on the older cars, like the 40s and stuff like that, with those hinges and or even the 56 Ford pickup hood is a pain in the ass. So, yeah, good stuff. Make sure you fit it all up. Fit your grill up because, yeah, for some reason when you go to put it back together, you're like, whoa,
yeah,
what happened here? Don't panic. It will go back and you can get it close, but you will be amazed at how far off it looks like it is.
Yeah.
So
if you want those perfect gaps, door gaps, hood gaps, you need to pay attention to them now before paint.
Yes, and there's a lot of welding, a lot of grinding, a lot of, like I said, it's just a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And
the factory didn't care if they were perfect. So if you want them perfect, it's going to take some work.
It's going to take some work and allow for filler, primer, the different stages of primer and fillers and paint as well. So don't make them too tight because you be sorry when you try to open up your door and it hits that front fender and takes a nice chunk out of it.
Yep.
Been there as well. So, yeah. Once you do all that, pull it back apart and even fit up some of the trim too. If you got the trim back from being chromed or polished or whatever, or if you haven't sent it out yet.
Especially if you replace panels.
Yeah, if you replaced a core panel or a door skin or something, fit that chrome up, fit it up really good, because that's another thing that could come back and bite you, And take pictures of it all, because I've taken things to the painter where he's been like, "Well, this doesn't fit." I'm like, "Well, I got the picture right here to prove that it did. I took pictures of it before I brought it over here." So, yeah. Just make sure you do all that stuff, especially if you chop something. If you're chopping a top or anything, you really want to fit everything up.
Yeah.
Hundreds
definitely.
of times, thousands of times.
That's another going back to looking at the big picture. You gotta, if you chop the top, now you gotta chop the inner window frames and your outer chrome pieces. It's not just cutting the roof and dropping it. There's a lot of little parts you got to do the same thing to.
Yep. But after that, go get your chassis powder coated or painted or whatever you're going to do. We powder coat ours because most of our customers like to drive them, If you're going to paint it, the paint's not going to last as long with all the road wear and tear. That's just the way it is. I mean, some of these total show pieces you see that have the frame completely painted all bitchin' and Bondo and smooth seams and everywhere and stuff. I mean, that's cool if you want to win a show, but if you're on the road, you're going to be sorry that you did that. So get it powder coated, bring it back, or before you even go to powder coat, make sure you can run your fuel lines, brake lines. I like to do it after powder coating because you usually got to ream out the holes anyways because it gets powder coating in there.
That's true.
So either way works, you know. We've done it both. If I have the time, and I'll run all the brake lines, all the brake line clamps and everything, all the fuel lines, fit up the fuel tank, all that stuff, you know, and just make it a complete rolling chassis, and then, you know, get it powder coated, or vice versa. Once you've done that and you got the motor sitting in there and you got a full rolling chassis, that's awesome. That's like looking at a beautiful chick, right, in a bathing suit, just sitting there. You're like, wow, I could stare at that all day long.
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
babe.
nice.
Just saying.
Yeah, it's real nice that we have a little chassis alley going on in our shop right now.
Yeah, it's really cool. We got 3 just beautiful chassis that are sitting there. And I mean, I don't know about you, Mitchell, but when I walk in the shop in the morning, it's just like, oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's where the whole car starts. So if you have that part of the car looking good, then
yeah,
you know the rest of it's probably going to follow suit.
I will one day hang a complete chassis on the wall. I will. just to have the chassis and look at it forever, because once you put the body on, it's like you still love the car, but it's like, oh man. Anyways, so yeah, there we got the chassis done, and when we get back, hopefully the car's back from paint. We can start putting this bad boy back together. So we're gonna take another break, and when we come back, we'll talk about putting the body on and start, you know, wiring it up and all that good stuff. Be right back.
Still have engine questions? We'll be right back in the garage with Bodie Stroud.
Folks,